You guys saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Today we're going to be talking about, do I think it was worth spending all the money that I've spent on my Sur-Ron X? Now that I've had all these mods installed for quite some time, I feel like I can give you guys a pretty good opinion on if it's worth the money it costs to buy the mod or not. We're going to start off here with the Flow wheels. Now, I love these wheels still, but I will go ahead and say I do wish I had gotten at least 14-inch wheels because of the kind of riding we do. I take this thing off-road all the time. It just doesn't really ride that well off-road with these little mini motos, and also jumping off curbs and stuff like that. We have pretty tall curbs around here. I bottom out pretty much every time I try to jump off one, and it's not very fun to bottom this thing out, man. Thankfully I got the upgraded dash guard, but for the money spent, I think that bigger wheels would probably have been more worth it to go with. Now the next mod I want to talk about is the brakes, the TRP performance brakes I got here. Now brakes are, how do I describe this? So basically, you don't need new brakes unless you upgrade pretty much everything else on the bike, such as the battery and the controller. If you have just an upgraded controller or just an upgraded 60-volt battery with no controller running stock kilowatt, you really don't need an upgraded set of brakes. All you really need is some Shimano pads in your stock brakes. They work perfectly fine, but once you start adding a lot more power to the bike, I personally don't think those brakes do the job, and you really need something upgraded. Now these things right here are absolutely amazing, man. Like I just locked up the wheel going, 30 miles an hour. Do I think they're worth the $600 they cost? Only if you have a battery and a controller and are running much more power than what the stock bike runs. Otherwise, I would just have to tell you to go ahead and get some Shimano pads. The next mod I want to talk about is the eMoto Bros BAC 4000. Now, I gotta say this, I really wish I had a new throttle right after or before I had the controller even, because I really did not get to experience what this bike was capable of till I got the new throttle. And I really didn't think that the eMoto Bros controller made that much of a difference. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if your bike feels like it's performing weird, you probably need a new throttle. But nonetheless, the next mod's the BAC 4000. This mod changes the bike entirely. Although it costs about $1,000, this mod is pretty much required if you want to add any more power to your bike. But I love this eMoto Bros BAC 4000 a whole lot, and definitely think it's worth the money. Next up is the 72-volt 38 amp hour Chai battery. Now this mod is by far my most favoriteest mod, even though that's not a word. My most favoriteest mod I've got for this bike. It absolutely changes the bike into just like, if you've ridden dirt bikes, it pretty much makes it into what you would hope this bike would feel like. Although the stock bike is still a whole lot of fun, you gotta put a battery in this thing if you want it to really be capable of what it truly should be capable of. Although it costs about $2,500, it is almost half the price of the bike, more than half the price of the bike really. If you want to seriously ride this bike, you need a battery. Now, those are the main big mods that have costed a majority of what I've spent on this bike. For everything else, it's for the most part smallish mods. We're gonna go ahead and jump into all those right now. First off being the bars here. Now, I kind of regret getting these bars, I'm not gonna lie. Absolutely love the look of them, but I wanted taller bars, and these bars I thought would be taller, but at the time I was just kind of smooth-brained and did not know that much about bars, basically.
This is normally a parking lot.
Yeah, with like a 10-foot drop-off on the other side of this wall right here, like the rock wall. Like how tall the stock bars are and everything, you could get some of these, but in all reality, I wanted something a little bit taller, especially when my wheels are smaller. It's something that makes me feel like I sit up taller, which leads me to my next point, which is the Grit Shift Direct Stem Riser here, or Direct, I think that's what it's called. But this thing right here makes by far the biggest difference. Every single time I rode my bike before I got one of these with the stock stem mount, I would literally like have my bars super crooked, but this thing's helped me keep everything straight. It doesn't help that I wrecked really hard one time and like twisted everything in the headset up. So much better riding experience with this thing on. But both of these bars and the stem riser, I absolutely love these two mods, especially the way they look. When I'm sitting here, it really changes up how the whole entire bike looks. The next mods are the rotors. Now I've got two new rotors for this bike. For the front, I got an upgraded Warp 9 rotor. I think it's like 1.9 millimeter stick only. It's not like the upgraded floating rotor. I just got a new OEM rotor in the back from eBikeZilla, and part of the reason I got it, watch this, hold on, before people come. It's gotta get a little rip in. But part of the reason I got a new OEM rotor in the back was because on Charge Cycle Works website, which is where I got these brakes from, it said that they only worked with the stock back brake rotor, so I got that. But looking upon the comments of the video where we installed the brakes, I'm pretty sure that's wrong and I could have got an upgraded rotor. These rotors combined with the brakes makes the stopping power on this bike how like it should be from the factory, man. Like, it stops on a dime now, bro. Really, some of the last mods that I got now are the Footpegs, the Warp 9 Footpegs. I got those in black, which they are pretty pricey, and I wish I had done some more research. I kind of feel stupid now because I found a pair of colored Footpegs. I could have got them in blue or black or whatever, and I found the peg support bracket, like the brace thingy, the bar for like $85, and you know, getting both of those things for $85 compared to just the pegs for $100 sounds like a way better deal to me. But nonetheless, I love these Warp 9 pegs. Now also this seat, bro, this seat, like I'm sure Dakota, we've been riding for 51 minutes so far, so quite some time. And I know that his butt is not comfortable on that stock seat, bro. Like that stock seat's garbage. This float seat right here is just the best $90 I've spent on the bike by far. Like it just adds so much to the riding experience. You don't feel like you're riding on a piece of wood anymore. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the very last mod that I got here is the sprocket. I got an upgraded Warp 9 sprocket. Now, I actually just went with another 48 tooth. Reason being is I've heard with these little 12-inch wheels, 48 tooth sprocket is the perfect size. Anything bigger, it has way too much torque, loses way too much top speed. Anything smaller, it's not torquey enough. I think the 48 tooth is perfect for this size of wheels. Really probably for most size of wheels. Maybe a 52 tooth would be what I would want to upgrade to at some point to add a little bit of torque. For the most part, I'm loving this 48 tooth still so far. It's like 40 bucks and I do not regret getting this thing at all. Inside cut. I think the battery's bouncing. So overall, do I regret spending as much as I have on this bike, which all in all, we will total out and put on the screen right here. No, I do not regret spending it, especially because I've been trying to use this thing as a commuter, a daily commuter, and really without all these mods, that's not something you could do. You really need the upgraded battery to go the extra range and the higher speed to keep up with the flow of traffic. You need the controller to use the battery device, so on and so forth. So no, I don't regret spending the money. I absolutely love this bike and think it's worth pretty much every penny, man.
All right, that's gonna wrap this one up, guys. I definitely need to get modding my bike so soon. As soon as I can, you guys are gonna see some sick stuff coming from there. Hangry72, we don't want to leave you out, man, but just be sure to hit us up. We're gonna give you about another week or so, and if not, we're gonna have to redraw. If you want to see my stock bike versus Ethan's 72 volt, make sure you click right here. Peace out. We'll see you in the next one.